Welcome back to the channel. My name is Wanda, starting over at 50 Life in Africa. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thumbs up. This is my backup channel. I have a main channel called Diaspora Connect Tanzania. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to do this video today, and I wanted to talk about the sexuality of the narcissist. The sexuality of the narcissist. Now, this is not all of them, but this is many of them. And the reason I say that is because they need fuel. They're like energy vampires, so they need supply or they need fuel to keep going, to feel alive because they don't have empathy, so they don't have the feelings, the natural feelings that we do as empathetic people. So they need to feed off of other people to feel those different emotions. The only emotion they really have is anger or rage, something like that. But the good emotions they don't naturally have, so they have to feed off of others who have an abundant supply of these things. So I'm going to talk about the sexual orientation of the narcissist. Now, this is based on my opinion and my experience, and also research I've been doing. I've been looking at other YouTubers who teach on this content, who share their experience. And from my experience, I would say that the narcissist is a trisexual. And I heard another. I'm kind of copying off of this other YouTuber that said that, and I'm trying to think of her name. I think it's like Pink Lady. I forget her whole name of her channel, but it has Pink something in it, Pink Lady something. It's a sister, and she did a video, and she's so true. And she made a statement that says that narcissists are trisexuals, meaning they try everything. And that is so true. I do agree with that. I do agree that many of them are down low men as well. I do agree that many of them are down low men as well. And the one that I was dealing with, not the first one was not from what I uh, observed. The first one was just more of a womanizer type. The second one, which is the one I recently married, I believe he was a down low man or a down low brother or a down low narcissist. And the reason I will share with you the reasons why I feel like he was. So he had like a major obsession with the backside, right? So for me, at my age, I'm in my 50s, I'm old fashioned. I am, my backside is exit only. I'm just saying, I know that's, TMI, but it's exit only. I don't roll like that. So I made that crystal clear. Actually, I didn't even talk about that because it's not even in my mind. We didn't discuss that because it's not even in my mind to even think. I don't even think about that. So, but anyway, like I said, I'm older, and for me, I'm old fashioned. So I'm not into all that freaky deaky stuff like that backside and all that stuff. So he seems like he had such an obsession with the backside. He always wanted to. He had more. He put more attention on the backside than he did the front. The front. The front is the normal desire that a man should have, I think, or the normal attraction or attention would normally go. I mean, I know that men like a nice backside or whatever, but this was more of an obsession. Like it's like he always was just. It was an obsession. It was just not a normal desire for it. Like no desire for the front. And I'm trying to keep this PG-13. So no desire for the front of a woman, but the backside was a obsession. It was just such an obsession that I felt kind of like weird about it because I'm like, why is he? It's just it's just you know it was not comfortable for me, and it was just the desire. Like nothing happened, but the desire for it. I had to keep saying, I don't go that route. I don't, I had to keep saying that, and I just noticed such a desire for it. It was just an abnormal desire, and that just started making me think, you know. And then he had told me one time about a video that he saw. So the fact that he told me about this video was confirming to me one that he watched porn. That's one thing, which I'm not okay with that. And then two is that he watched um, gay porn. So porn and gay porn. So that's how I was like, I feel like he's down low because what normal man is going to see, a scene that he told me, and I'm gonna try to put it as PG-13 as I can. He was saying it was two men and one man. I think he said it was a white man and a black man, and the white man was doing number two in the mouth of the black man. And he was telling me, and when he said that, I told him, no, 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 I don't want to hear no more of that. Because I didn't want to have that image in my mind. But he actually was trying to tell me that story twice. And it just, yeah, when he was saying it, I was like, I had to cut him off. I'm like, I don't want to hear, because just by him saying that part, I was, I had that image in my mind, and it was just making me feel sick. And I didn't even want to have that image in my mind of two men. And first of all, two men, and secondly, doing something as disgusting as that. So basically, he was watching two men, one defecate and the other one, and he was just describing the details real quick, and I had to cut him off, and I'm like, yeah, I can't, I'm like, I can't, I don't want to hear that because I didn't want that image in my mind. But that was a red flag to me that he was a download, because what normal man is going to watch two men doing something as filthy as that and then tell me about it? So it's like, you trying to corrupt me because you corrupt? Like, yeah, that was a red flag. So he had the backside obsession. You had that thing he stated um with the video, and it's he was either also talking about watching people um sleep with animals. Like, he had mentioned something like that to me, that he watched that, and I was thinking, when he was saying it, I was like, what kind of person is this? Like, you watching men, you watching people sleeping with animals. Like, I knew that he had a porn, he was had a porn problem basically. And so I was adding all that up, the backside obsession, the videos he said he was watching, and then he couldn't function. So he couldn't function sexually. So that also clued me into, he got some behaviors going on. Not that that can't happen to any man, but I'm doing my checklist. I'm doing the red flag add up. The reason why you can't possibly, because you're either a you know masturbating, or you're either watching porn. It's a lot of things that contribute to making a man not be able to function, as well as the health and stuff like that. So he has some health issues. But all this I'm adding up in my mind, and I'm listening. And see, I didn't have enough time to be around him to talk about these more personal things, because we were mainly on the phone talking about the travel and all that stuff. So when he got here, he started saying all this stuff, and I was like, and this was actually after the fact, after we said our nuptials and everything. And so when he was telling me that, I was like, yeah, it was in my mind that he's down low, yeah. And it was some other stuff about him not being able to, like, he kept having accidents, he kept having accidents, like with his bowels. And I know sometimes people come here and they eat certain foods, and sometimes they mess your bowels up. When you leave the West in America, you come back to the continent, you have this fresh food, and your body is kind of trying to adjust. So some people do get like the runs, diarrhea, or whatever. But it was happening like frequently. It was happening like he was having accidents a lot. Like, I was washing like a lot of his clothes. Like, it was like a child, it wasn't as often, but I had never been around a man that had accidents like that. And I know he was older, but he wasn't that old to where you can't hold your bowels, you can't control your, like a child that need a pamper. Like, he had to literally wear pampers. We had to buy him some. He had to wear them for. He's like, just in case, like a child, like a toddler, like, yeah. That, so all of that together that I just mentioned to you gave me the idea that, and then I realized, because I realized all this before I knew he was a narcissist. After the fact, I'm looking back and I'm like, yeah, but so they do anything for fuel, or for um um what you call it, fuel, or to fill themselves up, because they are empty, right? And so this is another act that I feel like he participated in for supply. Supply, that's the word, for supply of fuel. I believe that he was a down low man. I believe because, and then another thing is I noticed he would work out with this particular guy, right? He would work out with this guy. So you're working out, you're sweaty. He would come home and go to bed like that. Like he wouldn't shower after he worked out. So it's hot here on the continent. It was hot. He would be sweating in the gym, working out for hours, and then would come home and go to bed. Like he wouldn't even shower. And so for me, I'm like laying next to you. You're not considering the fact that I'm laying next to you and you are sweaty. So you're not smelling fresh when you go to bed, and I keep everything clean. So you're going to bed with a dirty body after you've been in the gym, out in public, doing in public, and then you come to a bed, a clean bed, and you go to sleep. You don't feel no kind of way that you don't need to bathe. And for me, I didn't want to treat him like a child and be like, you need to bathe. So I was like, are you going to bathe before you? He was like, no. He just said no. So I was like, okay. So of course, when I'm laying next to him, I'm all the way on my side of the bed because I'm like, you are sweaty. Because I always bathe before I sleep because it's hot here. I like to go to bed fresh, and then my sheets are clean. So, but he was not doing that. But this is the weird part, fam. He would get up and he would shower. We made sure he showered before he went to work out with the guy. He made sure he showered before he went to work out with the man so he could smell fresh and clean when he go meet the guy to work out. But when he was done to sleep, to come home to me to sleep, he wouldn't shower. He didn't care that I had to smell his sweaty self next to me and I was clean. So these are the different red flags or signs that I saw that I felt like after the fact, like after it was all said and done, and I went back in my mind and I realized he was a narcissist. I went back over those red flags and I'm like, yeah, I feel like he was a DL man. He didn't, he couldn't function, so we couldn't do anything. We never really had any kind of relations because he couldn't function. He went to get medicine and did this and that, but it never really worked because he didn't take it like he was supposed to. It's like he didn't really have the desire to want to get himself right to be in a relationship. So that's another way I found out that I think he was a DL or a down low man. So these are things that we need to be aware of, and this is something I learned, and because I started watching other videos, and I kept having it in my mind. This is not normal. Like I've never dealt with a man that had these things that he had going on. And I kept chucking it all up to he's older, he's 10 years older, and it's not. No. Now I saw that he was possibly a down low man because he couldn't function with me. But you know what I'm saying? He had all these red flags that showed me, yeah. But then he was homophobic too. So one time we went to get manicure pedicure, well, you know, and it was here in Africa, men do that service, not necessarily women. So he made such a big deal. I don't want a man rubbing on me. Next time I need to have a woman. He made like a massive big deal about it. And I guess I kind of understood because I was like, okay, you don't want a man rubbing on him. But now I'm looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, he really made like a massive deal about it. And that also with the other stuff showed me, yeah, he's a DL. He's a DL. So be very careful when you deal with these narcissists. This back and forth, this apologizing, it is risking your health as well, ladies. So this is my experience and what I had identified and saw in my narcissistic relationship or a so-called marriage that only lasted a few months, and then he was out of here. He discarded himself. He left. He discarded me basically, which was great because it was no way that I could stay with someone that couldn't function because yeah, that's not something I could have done, and I would have had to figure out how. And for me, I would have been honest about it because I was honest with him. Like I asked him, "Can you function?" And he assured me that he could, but that was a lot too. So it's a lot of red flags that was in there. But I wanted to share this personal tidbit with you guys of why I say that narcissists are trisexuals, and their sexuality is very questionable because they do anything for supply and for fuel. So they'll do anything. They'll watch anything to get these emotions because they're kind of dead inside. They're dead inside, basically. They're hollow, shell, like a clone, like a zombie. They don't have different feelings except for rage or anger. So they want to feel human. They want to feel these normal emotions. And also, when you sell your soul to the devil as a Freemason, you lose that ability, that God, like they say, God abilities, those things that you were blessed with, that the Most High gave you, or the Most High God gave you, to have empathy, to love, to have, those beautiful feelings. They don't have those. They just have the evil ones, the hate, the jealousy, the envy. They have those. They don't have the positive or the good fruits of the spirit. So, but yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll do another video next week on. Uh, we'll see next week when it comes. I'm just going through the different stages that I went through when I was with my narcissist, and hopefully this will help someone else who is in the relationship, or to avoid relationships like this, or that have experienced the same thing, and we can share our ideas and be transparent and vulnerable with you to show what I actually experienced and the red flags and all that, so you can avoid it. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'll do another video next week, and I'll see you guys in the next video.